We don't want to see that end. We want to see the FCC do its job and regulate the internet for the people, not to regulate it for the corporations. We don't want you driving under the influence of Comcast. We want you driving under the influence of the people.
On June 11, 2018, 3 members of the FCC voted to repeal the 2015 Open Internet Law.
But the public has already commented nearly 4 million times, asking the FCC to make sure that consumers, not the cable company, gets to decide which sites they use.
The net neutrality story exposes not only government corruption, but the power the internet itself has as a misinformation tool.
Net neutrality means that the government will, one day, control the internet. Wait a second, I can hear you saying, that sounds bad.
So I don't believe in net neutrality. I think I'd explained this a few days ago on the show, didn't I? I did a whole segment on net neutrality, I thought.
According to net neutrality opponents, the 2015 Open Internet Law was an example of government overreach that would only hurt the internet.
Net neutrality forces ISPs to charge all users the same price no matter how much data they send through the internet. It's a bad idea.
That envelope can't get there any more quickly than the 50-pound kettlebell. It has to arrive at the same time to ensure fairness. That's net neutrality.
But there's a problem with these arguments. They don't make sense. The internet that most of us see is not the entire internet. A sprawling network carries data to exchange points where the ISPs we use receive the data from the bigger network. This backend is where companies like Netflix, delivering lots of data, are charged more. Section 202 of the Open Internet Law reads, "Mechanism to resolve traffic exchange disputes." As discussed, internet traffic exchange agreements have historically been and will continue to be commercially negotiated. We do not believe that it is appropriate or necessary to subject arrangements for internet traffic exchange to the rules we adopt today. While the substantial experience the Commission has had over the last decade with last-mile conduct gives us the understanding necessary to craft specific rules based on assessments of potential harms, we lack that background in practices addressing internet traffic exchange. What all this means is that the argument that the 2015 net neutrality law forced big and small data operations to operate at the same cost.
So Netflix, which eats up an enormous amount of bandwidth, has to be charged the same as some schmo in his basement who is just loading up his blog.
Is completely wrong. It even gets the basics of how the internet works wrong. The basics of the very platform these YouTubers are able to use to easily spread their message about how the internet works to their followers. And the reason why the creators and builders of the internet itself have come out against repealing the law is this. It's there to prevent manipulation and censorship of our content by the internet service providers. This isn't just about a functioning internet. It's about protecting how we practice the First Amendment.
Oh my goodness. I joined the United States Army 45 years ago. I pledged to defend and support the United States Constitution, including the First Amendment. You're trying to destroy First Amendment rights to free speech and free press. I am totally against that. That's okay. I can be arrested. Yeah, you can't follow me.
Okay, we now have...
And the commons are for all the people.
The internet service providers have been caught blocking competitors, even most recently, throttling speeds to firefighters during the California fires.
During the largest wildfire in state history, Verizon slowed the speed of the Santa Clara County Fire Department's data plan, according to its chief. This throttling has had a significant impact on our ability to provide emergency services. He says Verizon knew the throttling impacted the firefighters' response, but did nothing. Chief Anthony Bowden made this claim in an addendum to a brief that 22 state attorneys general filed in a lawsuit. It wants to overturn the FCC's repeal of net neutrality rules.
How could this contradiction exist? How could people who claim to believe so strongly in both free speech and free markets be in favor of letting internet service providers censor content they don't like and shut down competitors? Could this be just a simple misunderstanding of technology and the law, even though information about both of these is easily accessible, ironically, online? Or does this contradiction reveal their secret? Are free markets and free speech for the American people the actual concern of these online channels and organizations?
Who is Dennis Prager? And why do so many people love him?
Or are these intentional misinformation campaigns funded and created to mislead the American people?
The odd passion over net neutrality has always puzzled me.
And if so, why?
So today we're honored to be joined by Ajak Pai. Mr. Pai is the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission. He's joining us the day before a big vote at the FCC on net neutrality. I know people have been going utterly insane over net neutrality. Ajak Pai has been receiving actual death threats. Like people